Okay, hey everyone and welcome to this week's video. So this week's video is going to be my brow routine because the amount of people that have asked me, how do you do your brows? Can you do a brow tutorial? Will you just put it up even if it's like 3 minutes? So I've got it for you guys. Just to say, my brows aren't like Instagram worthy brows. They're pretty natural for me anyway. And yeah, so if you like a natural brow that's kind of a bit false, then keep on watching. So yeah, this is for all you guys who wanted a brow routine. Okay, so we're going to start off just by spooling our brows, keeping a nice clean shape. Then I grab my Maybelline brow satin in the shade dark brown and I basically just follow my normal like brow shape. I know it's really hard to see on here, but I basically have 0 brows, so I find it really easy just to create like a nice clean shape, whereas some people have to use concealer. I never do. Just try and keep it like quite light. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. Like these next few steps can be quite scruffy. Like as you can see, I rub bits out, redraw them back on. It's kind of a trial and error kind of thing, and I do the same to both brows as you can see me doing here. I mean, it doesn't need to be perfect because you go over it with a lot of things, trust me. I always tend to bring my brows a little bit more forward because I just do, it's how I like them. Then I roughly kind of like fill them in after this is done, not so much that they're properly filled in. I basically just like do a few little swipes here and there because, as I've said before, I go over it with different things, so it doesn't need to be perfect. And again, your best friend the spoolie is going to come on in, and basically I just spoolie them quite lightly just to make sure that there's no gaps and they're all still facing the correct way, because without brow powder and gel you can't do anything. So this is what they look like. Then I take the powder side of the Maybelline brow satin and focus that towards the end of my brows, just because you don't want it, like you want a faded look on your brow basically, and this is how I do it. I basically just focus it more on the outer and then bring it in, I guess, is what I do. I mean, I love this brow powder. The only downside is sometimes it can move, which is why I always set my brows. As you can tell, again, it's not very neat, it's quite choppy, but I do it to both sides and then spoolie again. I mean, to be honest, spoolies save the day with brows, guys. Like, I'm not even joking. Please spoolie your brows. Then I take the Makeup Revolution brow kit and I take the darkest shade and the middle shade. I'm guessing this is in the brown, but I basically do 2 dabs in the darkest shade, 1 dab in the lightest shade, and start to put that in my brows again, starting from the back, then moving forward. I sound like such a teacher, but yeah, that's basically what I do, and it's quite a small brush that I use for this because you want it to be really intricate at this stage. You don't want like a big brush, so I just tend to use the smallest brush I can find, like so, and then again spoolie very, very lightly over these. And then I take the gel part with a bigger brush about the width of my brow. I just use the eyeshadow brushes and just put that right through my brows. This is what keeps them in place, makes them look like a gradient, nice and gorgeous, I think. And I think it works brilliant, and it almost makes them unfalse. Like when you have just powder, you can see that you have powder in your brows, but after you put this over, they look so natural, but your brow hairs shine through. So I mean, that's how I do my brows. Really easy. I hope you guys enjoyed that little thing and I'll see you guys in next week's video. Bye guys.